The Voice is... Aiden Ross!
Aiden Ross, season 28 winner of The Voice, and you were the first blind audition we saw this season, actually. So you really went bumper to bumper with this thing. What was it like the moment Carson Daly said your name?
Yeah, I mean to open and close the show was like definitely unexpected, but obviously like an incredible opportunity. When Carson Daly said my name, I got an immediate flashback. And it was just like me being a kid again, like watching the show. Like I've been watching this show since I was six. I was six when season one came out. I just got a flashback to me, my family in our living room with my little chair turned around, and I would push my imaginary blind chair button and pick my imaginary team. I just got instant flashbacks to that. It's such a full circle moment to like be on the other side of things, to be on like the other side of the screen and to have like been on the show and like to have like won the darn thing. Like it's really just I keep saying the word surreal, but that's just what it is.
When you think back to the very beginning, how much pressure did you put on yourself for that blind audition, and how did you come up with "Love in the Dark" as the song you wanted to perform?
I think a lot of times when I'm looking at a song, although like whenever I hear a song, like the first thing I hear is like the melody and like the move to it. Like I move my head. Like the lyrics to Love in the Dark really spoke to me. And like that's part of the reason why I chose Winner Takes It All too in the finale is the lyrics just immediately spoke to me. But Adele's obviously like I think if you can pull off an Adele song, you should do the Adele song because like all of her songs are just incredible. And so like I knew I wanted to do an Adele song. But I picked Love in the Dark specifically just because it was one of the stronger ones that I had done. And the show was fortunate enough to accept it and choose that for me upon my request, and here we are.
And I agree with the way you choose songs. My understanding is you like songs by women, and sort of reinterpreting them with a male voice, and that's smart because it's harder to compare. Like if a
Right.
female's singing an Adele song, there I think there's more scrutiny, and you might have a little more leeway with that. So talk about what it was like choosing songs throughout this process.
No, I love that question. So with this show, we essentially each round have it depends on the round. We have roughly 2 minutes per round to show absolutely everything we can do. And like I'm taking these songs and I'm ripping them apart and putting them back together. And I'm like, how can I show my artistry on this song and show like my creativity without ruining the song? Because a lot of times people will change songs way too much and like ruin it. Like that song was recorded that way, like because that is the best version of the song. You know what I mean? So it's less about like changing the song completely and more so like making it authentic to me. And that's the logic behind like picking female songs is because like just who I am and how I've grown up, like my own perspective, like as a man, like I just have a natural like different interpretation of these songs. And so that's like the main thing behind it. And also just like as simple as like so like I did When the Party's Over in the original key of Billie Eilish. And to do it in original key, obviously it's a lot higher for me than it is for Billie. But because of that, like it sits in such a different place in my voice than her. Like it sits a lot higher in my register than her. And so it has a completely different interpretation. Like mine's a lot more like growly and like a little bit more big, like especially when that bridge, like once we both said our goodbyes, and I'm like belting, it's like you know what I mean? It has a different type of dramatic feel to it that like I really wanted my songs to have. Like almost like theater-esque in a way.
When you went into this, I mean, you got a four-chair turn, so you had your options. Did you go in thinking Niall as number one, or did he convince you? What was that like?
I went in thinking Nile, but I the four chairs turned around, Snoop brought out his chain, and I lost my mind for a minute. I was like, Snoop Dogg was the first to turn his chair. Snoop Dogg has a chain, and he also just like above all else, he just seemed like he really wanted me. Like he seemed like he wanted it for me. And he fought really hard. And so for a second, like I started to lean towards Snoop, but at the end of the day, it was Nile through and through, and like evidently, of course, turned out to be like the best decision of my life. But ultimately, it was Nile because him being the youngest, I think we just had like an instant connection, like a vibe. Like we kind of just looked at each other and like it kind of was just like big brother, little brother vibes. like a little bit of a mentorship thing that was really cool. He also just like makes the type of music like similar to what I would want to make someday. And so that was just evidently the right decision.
He's also undefeated now. I mean,
He's also
he's
undefeated.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice he gave you?
The best piece of advice that he gave me was being on a show like this, like it's easy to get in the clouds. Like I have 2 minutes to show essentially everything I can do as an artist. And like going into like the first rehearsals, I would be quick to throw on all these runs and all these big notes and stuff, but you can lose sight of the interpretation of the song and like the journey that a song takes you on by doing too many big notes and too many runs and such. And so Niall helped me kind of find the heartbeat of like the song that I was doing. Essentially that helped me as a writer too, like anchoring myself to the message of the song has really just helped me overall. But in letting the runs and big notes stem from the like what the song is saying and what the lyrics are saying and what the notes are saying, rather than just the runs and big notes coming from me wanting to like show off vocally.
And you're a college student. I mean, did you have to take a semester off? How did that work? And is this derailing your plans for your future in any way? Are things shifting?
It's definitely changing paths a little bit. This past semester, I was not a full-time student at A&M. I'm an engineering student, industrial distribution. I was just taking an online class, and it was very doable. I think at the end of the day, I will do as much school as I can while still being 100% honest and certain to myself that I am giving everything I can to music. I think after winning the show, I I owe it to myself. I owe it to the people that voted for me and like my loved ones who have sacrificed for me to give everything I can to music. And if I can do that while taking a class, if I can do that while taking two classes, if I have to not take classes at all, whatever it takes. But I think it'll probably end up taking a couple online classes next semester. Either way, I'll be involved with A&M though. Like I'm an Aggie through my blood. Like even if I didn't go to A&M for college, I'm an Aggie. Like being born and raised in College Station, like I have that Aggie spirit, you know?
Is this hardcore dynamics? Is that a Aggie thing? What's talk about that? And have you talked to them? What do they think about all of this?
So my freshman year of college is pretty hard. I didn't have like a ton of friends until I joined hardcore. I joined the group late and they were just the most loving, accepting people, incredibly talented. And also just like they became my best friends. And so yeah, the hardcore dynamics is the acapella group at A&M and they're killer. They do this thing called Acapalooza that's going to be up in a couple months that I'm going to try my best to be at and maybe I'll do a special performance at. But it's just like essentially like where all the acapella groups around Texas at the other colleges will come and perform. But it's a really cool thing that they do. They're beyond just an acapella group. Like they're some of my best friends. There's something really special about like singing with another person. Like there's something like psychologically that happens whenever you sing with another individual. Like the level of vulnerability that like singing brings to like a relationship is really special. So like to be able to have that with them is really cool.
And you have a new song coming out. Can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that it is coming out very soon. Like if I had to ballpark it, like within the month.
Is there a
Um,
clue? Are we gonna like laugh, dance, cry?
mm, I love that question. You know, you might do all of it.
Okay.
You might do all of it. I think one thing I've learned about myself as a writer is like I like to take the person on a journey. Like that's the way that I just like write. And I think that just makes sense for me and like who I am as a person. I think it's very current stuff. It has a very like live raw feel. There's something honest about the song that I think people are gonna really relate to. I guess that has a very authentic sound. But it's also just like it's pretty mainstream. Like I think it's gonna be really enjoyable for a lot of people, and I'm super excited. I think it captures like who I am and my artistry perfectly.
And last final question, put it in the universe. Who is your dream duet or collaboration?
Lizzy McAlpine, 100%. She's like one of my biggest inspirations, the way she writes and the way she carries herself. She's just awesome. She's the best.